What's up YouTube, this is Dragon and this is another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. So let's get to the battle at hand. Now this team right here, I'm gonna say that the Pokemon that I fear the most is well, classically the Mega Kangaskhan, but not necessarily. I'm gonna say the Meowstic or the Breloom, because those two Pokemon can really just turn this whole thing upside down. And a lot of Brelooms, they carry the Focus Sash, and it's just like, you know, what are you gonna do if a Breloom is Sash and, you know, does this thing? But this Pokemon right here, this is also a problem as well, and I know it has T-Wave, but I'm not gonna allow myself to be pranked. And I'm gonna go straight to my Rotom from here, and I'm probably gonna go for a Volt Switch right off the bat from this moment, because I know, let's see, most likely T-Wave is coming up, or Assist. Okay, Assist, but it's gonna Spore. Oh my God, of all the moves. So I know my opponent has Breloom on this team. That's the thing. Yeah, but I got that Chesto Berry. Yeah, baby. All right, so. Man, Spore. Spore. Okay, Breloom is definitely on my opponent's team, but I just gotta hope Spore doesn't come again. And you know what? Assist is also a quote-unquote status type move. I don't think so. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So it might always have priority. I'm gonna go for Hydro Pump. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Hydro Pump right here. Hopefully the Assist doesn't get the Spore again, because that would be absolutely ridiculous. And Assist Spore again. That's nothing but lies. Like the chances of that, the chances of getting a double Spore is so freaking minuscule. What the hell, man? That's BS. That's just freaking ridiculous. So I'm gonna try to go for Substitute. Okay, so Assist Substitute. Okay. So let's see. This Pokemon is not an electric type, so I can just go for T-Bolt right here. Yeah, I'm gonna go for T-Bolt. Yeah, it's just a psychic type, so I can go for T-Bolt and break this up. I don't have to go all out. And Calm Mind. So Calm Mind, Assist, Substitute, and Calm Mind, Substitute, Assist, and man, this is a double Spore. What are the chances of getting a double Spore? That is so freaking stupid. You know, it sounds like this. I just wish I had Blissey on my team. Like, it, you know, like I would just laugh at this Side Shot. Probably Side Shot is the last move. So I'm gonna go for Thunderbolt again, because okay, so that's a double Calm Mind. Hopefully I can finally wake up after this, because if I don't, then it's gonna be a huge problem. All right. And am I still going to be asleep? Nope, I woke up. So that's a T-Bolt. Hopefully it'll be enough just to break the sub. And no, it's not. So I know it did at least above, you know. I know another T-Bolt would be good enough. Alright, and Assist. And then again, you know, maybe my opponent just has this thing where a Spore just keeps coming up. Okay, so you know, it may be set up in a way in which Spore just like keeps coming up. Maybe I don't really know the mechanics of it. That could be a thing. And what would make it, you know what? I'm gonna like test this out. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch into a different Pokemon, and I know he's gonna try to get, you know, like plus 1000 and everything. So I'm gonna see if my opponent is just, you know, being that guy. Huh. Yeah, because then, you know, anybody could just do that. They could just have a Pokemon that, you know, they can set up the game with assisting and, you know, have Breloom on the team, and from there just, you know, start sweeping, you know, after putting people to sleep without, you know, any type of repercussions whatsoever. You know, I gotta check the mechanics of this thing. So let's see, I'm gonna use U-Turn, because that'll be a smarter play. Because U-Turn will break through the Substitute, or to go behind the Substitute, and plus it'll do stab damage, and then I'll be able to Brave Bird. And Assist is definitely a prioritized move, so because of the Prankster. So will it go for Spore again? Yes. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely a thing. All right. So Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that this is very unfair, you know. And again, I understand this is battle spot, but in every other situation, well, not every other situation, but in, like, I guess, like really competitive battles, this would be an auto loss for obvious reasons, because you could just do something like this, It's very ridiculous. I'm gonna try to go for U-turn again, and that's another calm mind. Hopefully, I can just wake up straight away. No, I probably won't though. I probably won't. So my opponent is behind a substitute, but you know what? Let me see. Brave Bird, he probably has max defenses. Okay. I'm gonna go for, I'm gonna go for Brave Bird, because why not? And I know, like, he's just gonna keep using assist and spore. So, okay. Hopefully I can wake up, because I think this is the last calm mind. So, if Crobat wakes up, and you know what would be really nice? If I get a crit after waking up from here, and Crobat is still fast asleep. So I have a feeling that this is gonna now turn into a funeral home, and hopefully my opponent just wasn't counting. Oh, no, I woke up and I used Brave Bird, and what will happen to my opponent? Whoa, wait, what? What is this? Why? Wait, what? I don't get it. How did, no. Why did it not go past the substitute? What the hell was that? What is this? I don't understand. Summary. Oh my god, what the hell? I chose the wrong freaking Crobat. Seriously? Inner focus Crobat. Are you serious? Alright, so I'm so upset right now. I'm gonna go for Brave Bird again. And assist, spore, yes. Okay, whatever. Jesus Christ, man. So, okay. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter that my Rotom's asleep, just keep doing that. And that's kind of comical because, Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is his only move. You know what? I'm gonna go for Brave Bird again here. And, okay, substitute. And of course, Crobat is fast asleep. And yeah, man, this is so stupid. Why did I have to? You know what? I should just get rid of this Crobat. I don't even know why I have it. I will never use this Crobat again. I picked the wrong Crobat out of my box. Why do I even have this Crobat? I could have sworn that I put the other. Whatever. So I'm gonna go for Brave Bird again. Hopefully, Crobat is now Dark Pulse. Okay. All right. So that's kind of comical that it. Well, then again, if it didn't have Dark Pulse, it would struggle to hit, Dark type Pokemon. So, it has Dark Pulse, and then it can, Calm Mind, substitute, blah, 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 blah. Ironically, this is not really that, easy of a strategy for my opponent, but, whatever. It's, I'm so mad right now that I have inner freaking focus Crobat. That is so stupid. So I'm going to go for knockoff, and of course my opponent is going to use assist, and then he's going to put my Conkeldurr to sleep. Who cares about sleep claws? Doesn't matter. Alright, so Conkeldurr is asleep. Huh. I wonder what my opponent is going to do next. Huh. Is he going to use Dark Pulse and potentially flinch me? Well, I would hope not. But then again, I guess it's only going to be a +5 Dark Pulse because I have the Assault Vest. And, alright. So, let's see. Dark Pulse, it's definitely going to, go. I wonder if this will do minuscule amounts of damage. And you know what? It didn't really do that much. Huh. Not bad. So, knock off. Knock off that freaking substitute. And, let's see. I already know what's coming up next. Maybe it might have the Clawtizer effect, if you know what I mean. So, okay, let's go. And go for the knockoff once again. And assist. I wonder what's going to happen next. And, okay, it's still Spore. I really gotta check to see how assist works because, you know, the guy has 3 Pokemon, and from what I remember, assist randomly chooses a move from, assist randomly chooses a move from Pokemon in your party. So I don't necessarily understand the logistics of why, I don't know. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. From what I know, like, Spore is just like a random type of thing, so, no, I mean, not Spore, assist. I don't know. This is strange. So hopefully, I can. For one, hopefully I can just like put that Crobat in another box. This is so freaking ridiculous. One of the most ridiculous things ever. This Pokemon should pretty much be dead, but no. No, I had to have my inner focus Crobat. Why? Why do I have inner focus Crobat? And I woke up and I didn't flinch, and bam. Hitting that substitute. So moments like this, you know, I just don't even. So you know what, because I know my opponent is going to use assist again, I'm gonna go for Mach Punch so I could do just a little bit. That's right, it doesn't matter because this Pokemon is faster innately, so it's still going to hit me with the Spore regardless. So yeah, okay. All right. What a prankster. Yeah, this is a giant prank. You know, like my Crobat, incorrect Crobat. You know, could have lived 1 Dart Pulse. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And on top of that, I could have hit it like twice or something. I don't even know. So I'm gonna go for knockoff again. And my opponent is going, okay. So my opponent finally decides to withdraw. Thank God. And into the Breloom. Okay, and knockoff. Okay, you know what's funny though? This Breloom is gonna put, ooh, Toxic Orb. Too bad you're not gonna get any of that. So, you know, the funny part is that this Breloom is gonna put me to sleep. You know, so there's that. So I'm gonna go for Drain Punch again, or just now, and I'm gonna see if I get some health back. And that's not bad. That did a bit more damage than I thought. And I wonder, oh, counter. Okay, I was like, why did Breloom go last? Like, didn't really expect that. Okay, so seeing that, you know, this is a countering Breloom, which is a pretty rare thing, honestly. And I also kind of expect Mach Punch now. Man, this is kind of weird. Let's see. Should I go for Mach Punch or should I go for, or should I switch? I'm gonna go for Drain Punch. Whatever. And Drain Punch it is. So let's see. Will it be enough to kill the Breloom? It is enough to kill the Breloom. All right. So my opponent went for counter again, and that's pretty good. So it probably just had like counter and spore, and I don't know, man. I gotta really look up the logistics of how that thing works. All right, so Gengar. Yeah, man. If I had all I needed to have, and then it was Toxic Orb too, so I definitely would have been able to just like, man, I'm really upset that I had the wrong Crobat. So. You know, but you know what? I can't complain about that because that's my fault. I chose the freaking Crobat. All right, so whatever. So let me see. Should I switch into my Rotom or nah? Or maybe I should just go for the knockoff here, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go for the knockoff here anyway. And let's see where this goes. Maybe. Okay, so it's Gengar, right? Alright, so I'm gonna be trapped regardless, but I know this Gengar is most likely gonna kill me. It'd be comical, it'd be really comical if he just used like Destiny Bond or something. He really did use Destiny Bond. You know, I'm hoping that this knockoff does enough damage so that I can kill him. And it doesn't. Okay. But I am quite trapped, so is he gonna use Destiny Bond again? And oh, tightening its focus. Okay, so I'm just gonna kill you for free then. All right then. And no, wait. Okay. So is it? Wow, that's an interesting mechanic. So because my opponent used, instead used what was it? Focus punch. Did it like technically not count as a move, or was it because it didn't count like as a next turn counter? Or wow, that's wow, that's really weird. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna see if I can potentially go for Will-O-Wisp. Nah, that's kind of stupid. I'm gonna go for Thunderbolt. Yeah, I'm going for Thunderbolt right now. And of course my opponent is gonna go behind the substitute. Of course. But you know, being that... Alright, Rotom woke up. Being that my opponent... And took the damage. And substitute faded. Being that my opponent's Pokemon are dead, I don't think whatchamacallit will work anymore. Assist. I don't know. I have to look that up. Assist might still work. So that's the thing. We'll go for Thunderbolt again and let's see what happens. And assist. And I'm just hoping that it kind of like magically fails or something. No, it doesn't. Okay. So my opponent is still going to spore me. And yeah, my opponent is definitely that guy. Definitely that guy. Oh my god, man. Okay. So I'm gonna go for, you know, I know he's gonna go for substitute. So, whatever. You know, I'm not gonna wake up this next turn anyway. So I'm gonna go for the T-Bolt. And right now I am just wishing that I could have gotten one Brave Bird on this Pokemon. This would have not even be happening. This would not be happening right now. I can't even speak in correct sentences because speaking correct is not something maybe around the world in significations. I don't know. I don't even care about speaking correctly or whatever. I don't even care about anything right now. But I'm gonna go for Thunderbolt again just because it's a bit more relatively safer. My opponent is gonna Calm Mind up to another dimension. And let's see, every time it uses a substitute, it's and heals itself. That's going to be like plus like 6%, whatever. So this is the most ironic way to die, honestly, because everything about this battle is just like I should have probably just won, but at the same time it's just like my opponent is just being a bag of ridiculousness. Yeah, I really do try to keep the quote-unquote profanity at a minimum. But I'm going to go for Hydro Pump now. And, I have to because Hydro Pump is going to do more damage than Thunderbolt. So, let's see. Will it work? Will I wake up? And Rotom wakes up. And the Hydro Pump hits. And will it be enough to break the sub? I really hope it is. And no, it's not. Okay. So, let's see how long my opponent is going to do this. Is my opponent really going to go for +6? I really hope my opponent doesn't. If my opponent goes for +6, I'm going to be really mad. Please, please, I am begging you. Please, just kill me with Dart Pulse. Just kill me with Dart Pulse. You already have the game. You don't have to worry. You have assist. You can just keep putting me to sleep and then going behind the substitute. You don't have to worry. Please, please, please just kill me with Dot Pulse. Don't be that, don't truly be that guy. Alright, Hydro Pump it is, and that's another Calm Mind. Why? Why? What is life right now? And that is a communication error on my opponent's part. So, don't really know how to feel, I guess. So, you guys probably gonna be like, oh, was it really a communication error on your opponent's part? Well, shit. Damn it, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter, like, it was a disconnect from somewhere. I don't even care. You know, it wasn't me. Well, it could have been me. I don't care. I don't care. That battle was garbage. It was stupid. And whatever. See you later.